Spiti Valley in July 2026, what you should be expecting in terms of the weather, the road condition, the crowd that will be there in Spiti Valley in July, and most of all, will the monsoon affect your travel to Spiti Valley in the month of July? Now, starting off with the temperatures, now the daytime temperature in Spiti Valley will range from anywhere between 15 degrees to 25 degrees. It'll be warmer at places like Tabo and Kaza, while it'll be colder in higher places like Langza, Komik, and maybe Dankar. The night temperature will range from anywhere between, I would say, 3 degrees to 12 degrees. It is going to be more stable weather, but the evenings, pretty much after sunset, it's going to get really windy in higher places like Langza, Kibar, and Chicham. Now, for all those who are planning on self-driving to Spiti Valley, remember that in the month of July, the monsoon will play a part, but the intensity of it is something that we cannot really predict so early. Hence, when you're planning your trip, make sure that you're planning for a minimum, I would say, of 8 nights, 9 days, or longer. Because anything shorter than that is going to risk your entire journey. Because if there is a landslide and the road is blocked for a day or you're stranded somewhere, your entire trip is going to end up getting curtailed. So, to avoid that entire drama, it is best for you to plan a trip which has a spare day or two so that in case something goes south, you can make the most of it and visit the places that you have traveled so far to experience. Now, when it comes to the road condition, you can travel from the Manali route and from the Shimla route. It is always advisable to start your journey from Shimla and end it in Manali via Chandratal. Do not start from Manali and end it in Shimla, because that way you'll be ascending to higher altitude very fast and you're going to end up falling sick. It is always advisable to gradually climb in this altitude. The month of July is also a very good time for people who are interested in taking their bikes to Spiti Valley, because by then the water levels have reduced because most of the snow has melted and it has become more stable. Especially if you've seen on the internet all the issues that people are facing while traveling to Chandratal because of the water that is collected at the Nala. All that is going to be much more easier in the month of July, because most of the water would have drained out with the melting of the glacier. And what this really does is it makes your travel more easier as compared to what it would be in the month of June. July is a very good time for those who do not want to get the extreme cold in Spiti Valley, because July is one of the warmest months in Spiti Valley. When the monsoon comes, it's going to affect Himachal, but it's not going to really hamper Spiti Valley, because Spiti Valley is pretty much a rain shadow cold desert. So overall, it is very, very grim chances of there being any kind of rain in Spiti Valley. Remember that the monsoon is something which is completely out of everybody's hands, so you cannot really predict. And just the fact that when you're planning your trip, just make sure that you have your days in place so that you're not ending up getting stranded in maybe a Kalpa or something and then having to track back all the way because you've planned a 4 night, 5 day trip or a 5 night, 6 day trip to Spiti Valley, because that's not at all advisable for the month of July. The more time you give yourself, the better your chances of getting in and out of Spiti Valley without any hindrance. The Shimla route is flawless. The roads are very well made all the way up till Kaza. When you're coming from the Manali route, the roads are very well made, I would say, till somewhat till Batal, and after that it is completely a dirt road where you're just driving on complete gravel, because the roads have it's very difficult to make roads on that terrain. Once you get there, you'll understand. The scenery in the month of June is fabulous. You'll get to see greenery all over. You'll get to see wild horses grazing along the Manali Kaza road. Remember that when you're traveling along the journey in Spiti Valley, 4G and 5G network is there of Jio and Airtel. These are the two dominant networks in Spiti Valley. But network is only there up till Losar. Beyond that, you won't get a network along the Manali Kaza highway. It is a no network zone because there is absolutely no civilization on that part. Hence, come prepared. And if you are planning on traveling to Spiti Valley with your work, do not do that, because the network is good enough for you to just reply to emails and maybe do some video calls here and there. But if you need to do some heavy duty work which involves high speed internet, that's going to be very difficult for you to do in Spiti Valley, because the network at least the cellular network is not up to the mark. Even if your hotel or homestay is providing you with 5G, I do not know how good the 5G Wi-Fi is going to be in Spiti Valley, and if you take into account the fact that there could be an outage at any given point. Now, the places that you should be visiting in on your circuit is, you should definitely stop at Chitkul or Kalpa. If you can do both, it'll be wonderful. Nako is an option depending on entirely on what your preference is. Tabo is by default a must-stay place. Then you can consider this the village of Dankar. Stay at either Langza, Kibar, Chicham, or Demul. When you're traveling to Spiti Valley, the whole experience of Spiti Valley is in the remote villages. Staying in Kaza has absolutely no, I would say, no essence of Spiti Valley, because it's just a town in the cold desert. It is pointless staying over there, because when you reach Kaza, you'll understand there is no view, there is no nothing to be done. It's just that it's at a lower altitude. But if you are someone who's an hardcore traveler, my personal recommendation is go to the village of Demul. That's one place which still has the dry toilets and has the authentic feel of Spiti Valley without any network or anything. So try adding Demul to your blueprint. If not, you just definitely add, I would say, Dankar and Chicham or Langza to your routing, because these are three villages which really, really give the essence of Spiti Valley wholesome. If you're planning on going to Pin Valley, remember Mud is also open in the month of July and it's completely covered in greenery. Just make sure that you booked your accommodation in all these places well in advance, because accommodation in the month of July is very hard to get with the current situation. It's the month of June was packed out. The month of July will also be the same. Hence, pre-book your accommodation so that you're not stranded and having to go from one place to another place. Remember, Spiti Valley is a high altitude place, so you have to gradually ascend, and at the same time you cannot end up freaking out in Spiti Valley by smoking and consuming alcohol from the very start of the trip. You might be a seasoned traveler, but the fact that the high altitude and the lack of oxygen can really become a problem in the month of July also, because it is very dry weather out there. Remember, when you're traveling to Spiti Valley, you have to carry your woolens even in the month of July. You will have to also, with that, carry your UV protected sunglasses, because when the sun is out, it's extremely harsh. And make sure that you have your lip gel, because your lips will dry up and crack and start bleeding. One of the biggest advantages of traveling to Spiti Valley in the month of July is the fact that wherever you go, the place is going to be bustling in terms of crowd, and the fact that everything is going to be accessible, because Spiti Valley is at its optimum best in the month of July. It's just that in the month of July, the rain has been the only factor where most people have been getting scared for the last few years because of the floods that have been plaguing Himachal. But since this year is an El Nino year, let's hope that it's not going to be as severe as what it has been. And even if it is, you still make your trip happen, because at the end of the day, Spiti Valley is best explored in the summer months from June, July, August, September, because that's the peak time, and July is arguably the best time to be going there. Make sure that you have a very good pair of shoes, and shoes with a good grip, otherwise you're going to be slipping and sliding everywhere. Pack all your clothes and your gear in, I would say, transparent plastic bags. So by default, even if it starts raining and your backpack gets wet, your clothes will remain dry. Carry a good three-fold umbrella, so that by default you have an umbrella with you if it's raining in places like Shimla or Manali. Along with this, remember that if you are interested in booking a trip to Spiti Valley, we do have trips happening to Spiti Valley in the month of July. You can click on the link in the description, go straight to our website, and you'll get all the details related to our trip to Spiti Valley. If you want any of your personal queries or doubts of Spiti Valley solved, please do not WhatsApp our team or call our team. You can leave a comment below this video, and our team will be more than happy to reply to your question. If your question is a relevant question and a lot of people have the same doubt, we'll even make a video explaining the same. Now, if you want if you want time, like you want to get on a call with our team or a WhatsApp chat, then you'll have to book a paid consultation service, which will cost you anywhere between 1,000 to 3,000 rupees, depending on the time and the complexity of your problem. Over and above this, Spiti Valley in the month of July is a fabulous time to be going there. Just make sure that you booked everything well in advance, so you're not stranded for accommodation. Now, till our next video for Spiti Valley, remember, stay safe, stay happy, stay blessed, and remember, cover the earth before it covers you.